Hello guys, and welcome to my tutorial about some advanced features that I use in my game, Twin Suns. I am really excited about this tutorial and I want to show you how I did my game. If you have some basic knowledge about Unity and how scripting works and you want to know some advanced features, the tutorial can help you. I'm going to show you all these things, so take a moment to check the timestamps and jump to any of them if you don't want to watch all the tutorial. If you are completely new to Unity, I recommend you firstly watch tutorials about how to do your first game. You have some links in the description. You also have more extra links in the description, so don't forget to check it. And let's start the tutorial. Hi guys, welcome to Unity and to my game, Twin Suns. Here you can see two funny guys. They mean to be suns, so I hope they looks like that. And the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you an overview of the game so you can get an idea of all features I use. So let's play. This is the first scene, which loads asynchronous, the second one, which is the level selection scene. As you can see, I can move from one panel to another one. So let's play the level 1. Here you can see a panel where I show the user how to move the players. You can move the player by clicking on the screen or by dragging in the direction. There are some other panels with instructions. You can see the animations. I did the suns, the planet and the animations with Blender. So let's finish this level. You can see some fireworks made with particles. This is the level 2. I made all my levels in one single scene using Photoshop and XML files. Another feature I use is this. In this panel you can see there are different colors for the same font. I use TextMesh Pro to do that. I will show you as well how I save all the information that I need to load the game. If a new user starts the game, it's just available the level 1 and all the rest are blocked. I will show you how to do that. And a lot of more extra features. In the description you have all the links for very useful videos, YouTube videos. I have to tell you I learned a lot of watching tutorials. I suggest you to do that. And so let's start the tutorial in deeper detail. Here is the project of my game with all the folders. There are several information here, don't worry about that. And this is the objects for the game scene. As you can see, there are many objects. Don't worry about the words because some of them are in Spanish. I'm going to show most of them. So let's start with the camera. The first thing I did when I started the game was set up the camera for orthographic mode, which means that the objects look like the same size independently of the distance from the camera. So you can see here that all the objects in the scene looks like the same distance from the camera, but if I change the mode to perspective, everything gets messed. But as you can see, the suns and the planets here and the tiles looks bigger than these tiles over there because they are farther. How I do all my levels in one single scene? Well, there is a folder called resources that Unity uses very easily to load information from a script. So here you can see all these folders. Nivel means level, so this is the level 1, level 2, and so on. And here inside each folder I have some files. This one is a Photoshop file. And here you can see some XML files. So if I open this file, double click, you can see here some pixels. So if I go to my game, here is the level 1. And as you can see, these pixels represent all the tiles that I use in my level 1 with different colors. So you get the idea. And here, if I go to the game, this is the object where I load the information for each level. And here there is a script, level generator Photoshop script. And all these elements are prefabs that I use inside the game. So each pixel you see here is one tile. If I open this script, there are two key instructions that you have to carry out. Just don't worry about the rest of the code. Here you can see this instruction, resources.load texture 2D, which loads the texture inside the script. You can keep it in a variable. And there is another instruction that you have to carry out. Here in this instruction, picture is a texture 2D variable, and it uses this instruction, get pixel. So I can get the pixel for its position and check the alpha property. If it is different from 0, you know that something is painted in that position. So you get the idea, but don't worry, in the description you have a link to a very useful video that I used to learn this. So just check the link, and this is the part for the XML, where I load players, planets, and so on. You have in the description another link where you can learn how to load XML files into your game. How I do to select a player and move around the map. So let's play the game. Here you can see there are different options. I can move a player, clicking on the screen in the direction, or dragging like that. Or I can select the other player clicking over him. So now I can move that player. So how I did that? Okay, I did that using Raycast. What is a Raycast? Raycast is an array that detects which layers it collides with. So here, one of my objects is this one. If I press F, I focus on it, and it's just a plane. I play the game, and there is a plane, empty plane, all around the map. So the ray hits the plane, and Unity can detect the position where the ray hits. I can set up the ray to hit to different layers. So if the ray hits the plane, like this, it means that the player moves. But if the ray hits the other player, it is in another layer and it selects the player. So let's check how I did that. Here, one of my objects is this one, that is just a canvas. And here I have this empty game object that just have attached this script on screen events. So if I open this script, You can see this script inherits from event trigger instead of monobehavior. What does this mean? If I go to Google, you can type event trigger Unity and you can find this link, event trigger. And there is several events over here. We have on begin drag, on end drag, on pointer click, and on pointer down. These are the events that I use in my game, but you have all of them. So here in my script, as you can see here, I use on pointer down, on pointer click, on begin drag, on end drag. And this parameter is the information that I need that is going to tell me where the right hits. So if I scroll down, this is one of the key instructions. Camera.main.screenPointArray and check the input mouse position. What does it mean? This is an array that starts from the camera and I can set up the physics writecast. And this is the layer where I want to check if the ray hits it. So if it hits this layer, I select player 1. If it hits this another layer, I select the player 2. If the ray doesn't hit any of the players, we have here this piece of code where I check if the ray hits the plane. This plane is the plane that I showed you before. This plane. So back to the code, you can see here that I check which position the ray hits, and I can get the information about the X and the zeta. If you are planning to develop your game for Android or iOS, I'm going to tell you how you can save and load data in the mobile of the user that is playing the game, so the user doesn't need Wi-Fi connection to play the game. So what data I need to know about the users? If I play the game, if I select the level, here you can see all these levels are available. But if a new user download the game and start playing, he can only see this level 1 available and the rest are blocked. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Here I have this game object. It's an empty game object that has attached this script. So if I did this script, here, going down, the first thing is that this and don't destroy unload object, which means that persist from one scene to another one. But this doesn't really matter for what I'm going to explain you. Here there is the variable path, and it is a string that takes information from application persistent data. Persistent data is a path that is different for PC and for mobile, and it's a folder that is inside the phone. So once I have this path, here I have a load method. Load method checks the file that is saved in the phone following the path. If the file doesn't exist, means the user is starting playing the game now. And when I load the file, if the user is not a new one, I load some information from that file. In my case, I load the map level where the user is, the maximum level that the player has finished, and if the user has purchased the remove apps. And at the end of any level, I save the file in the phone of the user, so the information is up to date in its phone. I give you in the description a link where it explains perfectly how to do that, how to load, save files in the persistent data of the device where the game is running. Now I'm going to show you how I did the level selection movement between panels. So if I play the game and I press these arrows, you can see the game move the panels from one to another one. Here is the canvas where all panels are as tiles, and here there is this panel rect mask where you can see this component, rect mask 2D. I disable this flag. Here you can see all my panels. So if I press, you can see it clearly. There are another solutions to do this. If I go to Game Object, UI, here you can find Slider and Scroll View. But I found some problems with that ways, because if I change the resolution of the panel using this way that I use, it works perfectly for any resolutions. So let's go back to my resolution. And here in the panel rect mask, I'm going to enable this flag. And here you can see this script, UI controller, which have some parameters. And if I go to this script, this is the destination position where I want all my panels to go. So if I press the right arrow, and disable this, if I press right arrow, you can see all the panels going left. Actually, what I do is move the parent game object of all the panels. These are all my panels, and what I do is move the empty game object, which is the parent game object of each panel. So here, back to the script, you can see that the destination position is the position of the parent plus a new vector tree where I indicate just the x-axis with the screen dot width. So this allows me to know the position where the parent game object has to go. And after that, once I know the destination position, I call a coroutine. And that coroutine, the main thing that it do, it's called to the lerp method. The lerp function just moves one object from one position, start position, to the end position. I give you in the description one link where this way is explained perfectly. I just made some adjustments, like this one. If the distance from the start position to the end position is high, I do the lerp. But if the distance is so small, I just move the parent from the start position to destination position. So the movement of the panel finishes instantly when the distance is minimum. How I use audio sounds in my game. So if I play the game, you can hear the main theme of my game, and if I move one of the players, you can hear the jump sound, and if I click some buttons, you can hear different sounds. Click over one level, play, and so on. So how I did that? Let's stop the game And here you can see this game object is an empty game object that has attached this script, the audio manager. And here you have one sounds array as input. I have set up the size of the array to 12 because I just use 12 sounds in my game. This is the main theme, that is the music that you can hear in the background when you play the game. And I have another sounds over here, like jump when the player jumps, change panel, play level, and so on. So let's go to the script. Here you can see the awake method, and it's a don't destroy unload game object. And here I check all the sounds that I have in my array, and I add a component which is an audio source. So if we go back to Unity and I scroll down, when I press the play button, the script creates all these components for each sound in the array. So here is the main theme audio clip, and here you have all the rest of the sounds. Here is jump, change panel, and so on. So back to the script, here you can see that in the start method I play the main theme of the game, and the play method just find in the array the name of the sound and play it. And I am not going to go to deeper detail because I give you in the description a link where it is perfectly well explained. Now I'm going to show you how you can add Unity ads to your game, and it's a very easy way. So if we play the game, one case when I play ads is when a player dies. So let's see what happened. The player dies, and I can see this test ad at Unity. If I skip this, I'm going back to the game. So I'm going to show you how this works. The first thing you have to do is go to this service view. If you don't have this view enabled, just go here, Windows, Services, and you see the window. And here is the ads service. If I go into it, and this is enabled, I have enabled the test mode for the purpose of this tutorial. So the ad you watched before is not a real ad, and you can show ads from your script. So if we go to my script, here the first statement you have to write is this one. Enable using Unity Engine.advertisements. And you have to add some piece of code that is very simple. To show an ad, you just have to do this. Check if one advertisement is ready, and if it is ready, you just show it. As simple as this. You don't have to do anything else. Just use this piece of code in one method that you can call whenever you want. Now I'm going to show you how I did this panel. A tutorial for the user to know how to move the player. And as you can see, there are some animations over here. So let's check how to do that. Here's the canvas that has the panel as child, and all these game objects that are child of the panel, as you can see, they are image mostly. Player, arrow, one hand, another hand, and these two last game objects, they are just empty game objects that I use as target to move the player and the hand. As you can see, here's the player. Let's zoom in. You can see this is just an image moving from the start position to the target position. I do it using the move towards method inside a coroutine, and the rest of animations, they are just game objects enable and disable. As you can see here, it's like live game objects. Some of them are active, suddenly they disactive, and so on. So let's check the script. Here in the script, you can see all the public game objects, all the images, and the targets. And the main thing I do is call this start coroutine. What does this coroutine do? Mainly, what I do in this coroutine is just activate one game object, wait for some time, deactivate the game object, wait for some time, and so on. And to move the player from the start position to the target position, I use the move towards method, using a while inside the coroutine and checking the distance from the player from the current position to the empty target position. And when the distance is minimum, I just reposition the player image to the target position. So I just play with the coroutine to fit my requirements. Another move towards for the drag hand, for this hand that is going to appear now. This one. Another move towards method, and so on. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and if you want to try my game Twin Suns, just go ahead and download it in Google Play. You have the link in the description. Bye bye.